1985 Ballarat Cup Carnival Racing Preview. Your host, Channel 6 Sports presenter, Rob Gaylard.
Good evening. Well, it's that time of the year once again. 12 months have gone by since we last sat down with a Cup preview, and it's Ballarat Cup Day. 2 magnificent days of racing. Tomorrow, of course, starting off with Cup Day, and Thursday, and the Cup field is a beauty. 9 races tomorrow, and of course, history being made out at Ballarat Turf Club tomorrow with 2 hurdle races on the program. Our panel tonight consists of the evergreen turf reliable in Jim Coghlan in his 21st year of turf tour. Good evening, Jim.
Hey, Rob.
And joining us our newest addition to Channel 6 over the last few weeks in Shane Brennan.
Good evening, Rob.
Well, taking a look at the card, first event on the program, which is the maiden. It's over 1,000 metres. Jim, can you see one in this that we might be able to steer the punters in the right direction?
I can't really, but if one must have a stab at it, perhaps number 10, the local horse, Green Moss, East Wade.
Well, I'm a little bit inclined to agree with you there with Green Moss, one who's trained on attack by Bobby Trell. I think the hardest for him to beat could be a horse called Flight Miss. Number 11, drawn 11, trained by Tommy Hughes. And I think you've got a leniency towards this one, John.
I have, Rob. I think it was very unlucky at its last start. 7th at Flemington on a heavy track. Gets good conditions tomorrow and could find its chance to break through.
Well, the consensus of opinion is that perhaps Flight Miss could beat Green Moss. Maybe a good quinella for you to start off today. Race 2 on the program. The hurdle, it's the first division of the hurdle, 2,800 metres the journey. And Jim, what do you like in this?
I like number 1, Charismatic, Rob. His win in the Cup hurdle was good. And that form was proved by Brinkworth going on to Sydney last Saturday, and he probably will claim tomorrow. I'm not too sure about this, but I think his jockey Jay Pike, not against beating cheers with a great JPIKE, but he's the Tasmanian JPYKE, but he rides him well. I think repetition of his Cup hurdle is nearly have to win this.
So you're a little bit inclined to agree with him?
Yes, I don't think the claim will worry it at all, Rob. I think anybody that can run second to Brinkworth is far too good. At 2,800 metres was certain. I think it'll be far too good for the rest of the field.
If he doesn't claim, you don't feel the 68 might stop him?
No, not at all.
Not at all? Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going for number 2, Fair Creature. I thought it was a good run, Bendigo Cup Day. It beat a horse called Fife and Fun and crashed through the last at Bendigo. And he's my pick in the race to beat number 4, Making Ground, for a little bit of value. This is one trained by Ray Pate from Murray Briggs, and he doesn't bring him over unless he thinks he can win, and I like the top weight Charisma to put him for third. Race 3 on the card, which is a hurdle, the second division, the same distance, 2,800 metres. Jim, what do you like in this?
John Couchman of the Silver Plain came over to Ballarat from New Zealand and bought this hurdler with him, number 2, Prince Garden. Form in New Zealand good. Hasn't been that good here, but I think the shorter distance tomorrow will suit. Captain is coming in now, and with course knowledge, I think it'll be very hard to beat.
Well, Prince Garden was a good force behind the horse I picked in the hurdle, Fair Creature. Yep. So, where the smoke and over a little bit of fire. Shane, what do you like in it?
Yes, he's due to hit his straps. Prince Garden will have the local knowledge and has the schooling expertise of Pat Payne.
Well, I'm going to differ from you once again. I'm going for number 3 in the race, which is a horse called In the Strand, trained by VJ Douglas at Mornington. And he's a very consistent type horse who, in my opinion, must be considered in this. He can handle the conditions on the flat. The track tomorrow out there will be good. And his last start, third in a hurdle at Murray, puts him well in this race. And I think the hardest to beat could be Prince Garden. I tend to agree with you there. With number 6, a little bit of value, a horse called Tidemaster. Race 4 on the card, which is the maiden, over 1,000 metres. It's the second division. And there's some interesting runners in this one. Jim.
What about Flames? I think this might be the better day. Number 8, Tommy Hughes trains Flames. Had one run for a very good second, being a progressive out here, beaten by Ungalmanga Space Day, strong progressive, who's beaten by half a head and half a head. Go take a maiden. I think he should win. Rob, you tell me something interesting about his name.
Well, Sloane's actually, yes, Jim. Sloane's is a, well, I suppose it's a slang name for a breed of English aristocratic children, I suppose we might as well call them, which is an article we saw on 60 Minutes some time back. But it's interesting to have a look at where the name actually came from the breeding with Rappendale, and I can't see any connection. So maybe there might have been a little bit of English blood perhaps in the owner, something along the line. What do you like in the race, John?
Well, I like Sloane's too, but I won't give it out as a bet of the day simply because there are a lot of unknown horses in the race, and betting's probably the best guide to punters heading out to Dowling Forest tomorrow. But I do like Sloane's. Its form reads well, and if form's any indication, it should win.
Well, it was a top-class field of maidens that it ran against when it ran through it out here at Ballarat. And I tend to agree with him. I think it is the bet of the day. In fact, it's going to get my nod. It's the bet of the day. Perhaps the hardest to beat could be a horse called Falling Snow, which was a horse trained at Yarra Glen by D.L. McCrannan. And she finished third at 12 at Warrnambool. Admittedly, it was only at Warrnambool, and that was her first start. But she's by a fair horse called And Behold out of Bowl Lily. and the breeding there is quite good. She's a great filly 3-year-old. Let's have a look at race 5 on the program, and it's the progressive handicap over 1,200 metres. Shane, what are you going for in this?
Very hard race, Rob, but I'm a strong contender for top weights. An Alien Prince I like in this. It's won its last 2 starts at Echuca and Bendigo respectively. Much the same distance, much the same type of field, and I believe it should win.
Well, had Smoky Trelaw on it at Bendigo, Jim.
Robert Snowden wins plenty of races out here. Maybe he'll win this very difficult one with number 6 Time Belief.
Well, I'm going for the top weight, Alien Prince. I tend to agree with Shane. I think it's the horse to beat. One that is an interesting runner in this, number 4, Ariak. One that's trained by Colin Hayes' son, Peter Hayes at Oakbank.
His South Australian form reads good, Rob, just running out of placings, but Colin Hayes, of course, it must rub off onto his son, and it's been prepared over there at Lindsay Park, so it's a very talented horse.
Well, the feature event on the card, of course, tomorrow is the Ballarat Cup over the distance of 2,200 metres. The trip for the Cox Plate, and certainly didn't fire in the Bendigo Cup last week.
He's certainly the best horse in the race, but he's not in form.
We go to
here I'm saying tongue in cheek, he'll make a laugh me tomorrow probably.
and then we go to the Bendigo Cup winner of last year, number 2, Toyd. I believe his blood count was down at Bendigo, and that was the reason for him being scratched.
Yes, well, I think he'll just about win. He did a winning gallop at Flemington on Monday morning. I said, Toyd, at his very best. To get his last 2 runs, they're both in heavy going at Flemington, but he blew from 10 to 20 to 1 round accordingly. I think he might have run last.
Toyd
was hopeless in heavy going.
Toyd ran 3rd in the Ballarat Cup, of course, last year after starting favourite, which I thought was a disappointing run, and I believe he'll have to improve a lot to win tomorrow.
Well, what do you like?
I think he will.
I like Peckham McGath. I believe it got balloted out of the Melbourne Cup field, and that form reads good enough for me to win a Ballarat Cup. And it's racing in reasonable form, and at the moment, the barrier 16's against it, but I believe it is a form horse, well weighted, and should give a good fight tomorrow.
Well, it ran 8 to 13, of course, in the Queen's Cup at Flemington, and as I said before, it's back a little bit in distance tomorrow. Jim, have you got a lot of...
What I do think it might help Peckham McGath tomorrow is Wayne Trelaw. I think he's the sort of horse that Trelaw's riding could seep down the ground.
Well, he's a very boisterous type of rider. If any jockey can get the best out of them, well, Trelaw, Smokey is probably the way to do it.
My danger to Toyd. I think an interesting one. Do you know, read about Atlantic Crisis?
No, well, actually, I've been through the form from back to front, and I
his last study won.
3 or 4, his form is superb, but whether he can come into this race...
his last study, where was it? Some funny called it Cumberumber or something like that.
Cootamundra
Cup over 2,000 metres.
And the horse that ran 3rd in that was a Flemington winner, and he's a very good horse that ran 3rd.
He's a big jumping class.
I know.
So he's had 35 starts, which, or not 35 starts, I should say. Yes, it is 35 starts.
He won about 8.
And he's won 8 of those for $12,870, so I'd say he's probably been going around in about $800 or $900.
I have great respect for these Riverland horses.
See? Yes. Well, the track's going to have to be in their favour tomorrow. The track, as we said a little bit earlier on, will be good.
The place that one would seem to be...
Well, I can't go past myself. I really can't go past the Bendigo Cup winner of last week. Let's perhaps take a look at the Bendigo Cup of last week and see if you can pick a winner out of this.
Very deep on the first turn. Sauvage's got a nice one on the fence. He's about 5th as they settle down with 1,800 metres to go. Behind Sauvage is Gold Deck with Reingard just in front of him and Shades of March. And Prince of Miri, Greatness got well back, Loyal and True. Nalista 3rd last, Aquastar last year, Charlie the Rail. Not a lot of speed on as they go past the 1,600. Rosa Banata the outside, Crown Ram from the fence. 2 lengths to Gain Trooper, Noble Comment 4th, 2 lengths away Shades of March, and Sauvage getting a lovely run, the favourite the outside. 3 lengths to Reingard, Greatness a length away, about a half length Gold Jet past the 1,400. Then Loyal and True, a length and a half to Lister outside Prince of Miri, Aquastar and Tia Charlie. 15 lengths covered them at the 1,200. Rosa Banata about a head in front of Crown Ransom, 2 lengths to Gain Trooper, Noble Comment pulling a bit. Sauvage settled reasonably well. He's got his ears fixed. Shade of March the inside, a length and a half to Reingard. Greatness is 8 the outside from Gold Deck the fence, a length away then Royal and True at the 1,000 Prince of Miri. Nalista's got 2 behind her. They're Aquastar and Tia Charlie. Still about 15 lengths between first and last, and Rosa Banata the outside, just shading Crown Ransom of the 800. A length and a half to Gain Trooper, Noble Comment. Sauvage poised, looks to be travelling well. A length and a half to Reingard outside Shades of March. 1 away to Greatness, starting to wind up, but he's got a job to do. Gold Deck inside a bit, further back Laurel and through. Then the Lister try to improve through the field, Prince of Mary. Aquastar and Sheer Charlie on the turn, 400 to go. Rosa Banaka's run off the track. Sauve's got the run, and he's gone up to join Game Trooper, and also on the fence, Crown Ransom. Ryan Guard with a big run. Noble Comment coming into the clear, further back of the field. Gold Deck down the outside, and Greatness. Sauve just in front. Gold Deck challenging inside the 200 with Ryan Guard. Sauve, Gold Deck, and Ryan Guard. Here we go. Gold Deck in front. Sauve can't hold him off, and Gold Deck's going to win the cup. Along next to Sauve, the length and a half to Ryan Guard. Melissa Noble Comment. Lawland through Aquastar, Rosa Banaka. Now Crown Ransom was last. They go behind the judges' tower, and they go out of view. It was a mighty finish in the cup. Was Gold Deck.
Well, Gold Deck, the winner of the 1985 Bendigo Cup, and the thing I like about Gold Deck is that he's a horse that can race and settle. And tomorrow's Ballarat Cup is over the same distance of the Bendigo Cup of 2,200 metres. He's drawn in 13, Gold Deck, and talking with Chris Barrett after the race, he said that he's a horse that really likes to settle in a race and just lob along, and I think that's got all the makings of when that charge comes down the hill for a winner in the Ballarat Cup, because most of them that can race up, say, 6 or 7 off the lead in a Ballarat Cup have proved to be successful. He's a horse that does get back a little bit in his races, Gold Deck, but going back, say, some 12 months ago or 2 years ago, Gold Deck was pretty well regarded as a Derby horse, Jim.
Yes, he was. That different displays Downing Price will help him.
That will. Well,
I think he would have run second to Bendigo Cup had Gouts been on the other horse.
Well, I don't know. Sauve seemed to have all the chances. I think he was just outridden,
You were saying it.
Barrett pulled into the outside, and, what was the
I think that Gouts had been on him, he wouldn't have been outridden by Chris.
Oh, well, that's it. They can't turn back the clock. They can't turn back records. But it's also interesting to note, saying the amount of South Australian horses that have been brought across for this year's Cup.
Yes, Rob, they bring a lot of horses over here occasionally to Ballarat, and Bread and Wine, I noticed, is the form horse from the South Australian. Sonny Coombs has got it at Morphettville, and it was a strong 6th last start at Sandown in the Cup, and it should be a forward showing for tomorrow's Ballarat Cup.
Well, for a little bit of value tomorrow, girls, I like number 13, Cup Tie.
What about the girls and the ladies? What about Hawaiian Blue and
Therese Payne?
Yes,
I think it might be a little bit...
Queen's Cup.
But she made up a lot of her ground when she came through on the fence in the mud, and then she got bogged down about 200 lane.
She's good rider, Therese. And,
I don't know. I think there might be a few in that race tomorrow that could be a little bit better than a Wine.
Yeah, we would have said that in the Queen's Cup too.
Rob, we were talking earlier about horses for courses, and the Lister comes to mind. I had a high opinion of this horse early in her career, but she just hasn't been able to put it all together with a number of minor placings and, of course, the last start 5th and 6th in Melbourne in the big races. What's your opinion of her?
Well, she ran 4th in the Cup at Bendigo, of course, behind the winner Gold Deck, and was well back in the field, and if you probably had a chance to have a look at that rerun again, you probably said she'd come from back in the field, but I tend to agree with you in the fact that she is now starting to stamp herself as becoming a non-winner.
I was talking to her owner last night and saying she's coming up and that well-known TV personnel there many years ago, Joyce Fountain, remember she was Brown Kendi and Burton Newton.
Era?
She owns it.
Well, my pick tomorrow, I'm going to stick with is, of course, Gold Deck from Cup Tie and perhaps Playful Princess in for third. 1, 2 and 3 in a word?
Forward. Taking the guess, Atlantic Trust.
And you like taking a guess?
I like Peckham-a-Gas, Bread and Wine from Playful Princess.
We'll see how good we are this time tomorrow night. Race 7, the Progressive Handicap, 2,200 metres. And the top weight Lalos, winning form, trained on the track by Ron Morn. Won at Bendigo, absolutely kicked their brains in at Bendigo. It was a tremendous run up there, and I think he can almost do the same again tomorrow.
Yes, it was a strong run in Adelaide too. It was a reminder of Adelaide form. It was a second in the Labor Day Cup over there. And the top weight of 58.5 could have it struggling a bit tomorrow. Rob, I like Drury Sun. It's also got about 56 kilos, but it will appreciate the firm track tomorrow, and I think it'll be the hardest to beat.
What's your pick, Jim?
My money is on number 2, Salsify, trained by Kelvin Burke at Coghlan.
Well, I picked that in as the hardest to beat. Lalos from Salsify, I tend to agree.
Kelvin, isn't he?
He is. He's a great trainer, Kelvin Burke. He perhaps doesn't get a lot of the accolades that he really deserves, Kelvin Burke. Races most of his horses up through the Western District, and that particular horse is racing well. And
another lady put down Peter Danger, Panorama Music, no.
Yes,
I
just wonder, a lot of the good horses tomorrow, I noticed just the luck of the barrier draw. The good horses in the Cup have all drawn out wide, and a lot of the horses with chances in the other races have also drawn out extremely wide also. Okay, I've gone for Lalos to be Salsify with Nazar Royal to take third money. Let's have a look at race 8 on the program, which is the Welton. It's over 1,400 metres, and there's a few here that are coming back in distance, but you couldn't throw them out without a chance.
No. I thought number 3, Rare Decision. Races well here. Races well most places. A very consistent horse. His last start fourth in the Clip, I think it was, the Flanagan last week, was very good. Justification, didn't he? Won on Saturday. He just beat him for third place, so...
Well, Rare Decision is a bit of a favourite of mine. It's trained by Tommy Retallick up at Laureate, and of course that horse has won 2, owned by Edgar Prosser, I think it was. He has won 2 Coghlan Cups over 2,000 metres. And as you said, even though, or as I said before, even coming back in distance, he does sprint well fresh.
Yes. We talked before about Bert Newton.
Right. Yes, I see he's got one in here.
Coast Guard,
played by Cass Johnson.
Ballarat.
He's pretty smart for the racing well. Yeah. Well, he did at Kyneton last start and was a winner at Kyneton the start before that. Winning form's good form here, don't you, Shane?
I like Rare Decision, Rare Flyer. Sorry, you've talked me into Rare Decision saying it, but Rare Flyer from South Australia once again, prepared by Colin Hayes.
I'm happy.
I am, Jim. It grabbed me with its last start, so third, and then before that it ran third to All Benefit, which was being set for the Ballarat Cup, but however has gone off a little bit, and the owners were telling me they thought it was a real good thing for the Ballarat Cup if it come over, so a third to it really makes the Japan Airlines well to look its race if it's ready and firing.
Well, the horse I like is number 11, Roskill Prince, not suited by the wet tracks, and tomorrow the track should be good. And I like him, even though he was 7th at Geelong over 1,400 metres, and I think the 1,400 metres tomorrow will suit Roskill Prince. I think the hardest to beat could be number 10, Finally Seen. Have you got one that you might find could be the hardest to beat?
Yes, I like Rare Decision, Rare Flyer from Rare Decision, Rob.
Okay, let's move on to the lucky last, or the get-out stakes, whichever way you want to call it. And of course it's a race with a famous name, the Flying Handicap over 1,000 metres. Jim?
The Coghlan Flying Handicap.
Well, some horses in this, but you could pick them with a pin.
You could indeed. I always make the last race of every program Mark Quinella, and I think he's a good winner in this race. In number 4, Slip Draw, Tommy Hughes, good horse, not badly handicapped in this 55, and I think Mossy Bart was good first up, and Mossy Bart did win a trial at Mornington last week.
Taking a look through the form, Shane, what can you see for punters to perhaps get out on the last?
Well, Rob, you've given your best bet, and so has Jim. I'm giving mine as number 13, Captain Palais. I've a huge opinion of this horse. I know it is a very strong field, but probably a little bit of sympathy lies. Glenn Lester from the Melbourne Age and a few of his journalistic colleagues own Captain Palais, but it was an incredible run first up here at Ballarat. It won, then won in Melbourne, and I think it's going to come back first up and should win tomorrow, the Coghlan Flying.
Well, I found this perhaps the hardest race to pick a winner out, and I've settled on number 3, Camdana Quest. I've gone through the field and tried to find one that can really fly over the 1,000 metres, because I think you'll find tomorrow that they will run some time in the last over the 1,000. And Camdana Quest, which is trained by Brian Gilders, is by the former speedster in Mangana, and even though he ran 6th his last start at Flemington, conditions didn't suit him, they were heavy. I think tomorrow's conditions will be right up his alley. I think perhaps the hardest to beat, and I agree with you, could be Split Draw. And if you're looking for a trifecta, I think that Johnny Sadler just a bit was a great run at, in the Wongoom, I think it was, at Warrnambool back in May. And I think this race, you'll see just a bit flying home over the top of them. Unfortunately, it's also drawn out in 15 minutes. I don't think really worries horses from the 1,000-metre fly, wide draw, or the 1,200 metres.
It's a perfect run to be at turn. As a matter of fact, the one's gone out, so maybe at a slight advantage.
Yeah. Well, taking a look through the card, your quaddy, Jim?
Oh, I haven't even...
Well, having a look at the quadrella from my point of view, I've gone for 9 Gold Deck in the Cup from the top weight number 1 Lalos, 8 Roskill Prince into 3 Camdana Quest. For the daily double, I like the combination of 10 Gold Deck into 11 Roskill Prince. My extra double, if you're looking for 1 Lalos, of course, into 3 Camdana Quest. My best bet, I tend to agree with Jim, I think could be in race 4 early in the day to get your money. Race 4, number 8 Sloan. Same.
Well, my quaddie, Rob, is 9 Peckham Gaff in the Cup, 3 Drury Sun, 5 Rare Flyer and 6 Captain Palais. My double is 9 Peckham Gaff and 5 Rare Flyer. The extra 3 Drury Sun and 13 Captain Palais. My best bet, race number 9, horse number 13, Captain Palais. It'll be good odds and a good get-out bet.
Well, of course, we also have Thursday racing out there, Jim, and all speaks well. We've had 150-something accepted.
8 races out there.
And 8 races on Thursday, and it's going to be a great 2-day carnival. Let's hope the sunshine stays with us for a great day out there. Of course, we'll be providing a direct telecast from Dowling Forest tomorrow afternoon with 5 hours of live television, including Jenny Shooter's morning show tomorrow morning. So we'll look forward to your company at some stage of the day tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed our Cup previews this evening, and hope it's steered you in the right direction of the winner. From the panels in Coghlan and Shane Brennan, this is Rob Gaylard wishing you good punning, and it's a very good evening to you.
Evening, Rob.
Join us telecast to the 1985 Ballarat Cup Carnival from Darling Forest.